Great. Okay. So we want to get started, and I'm going to share my screen, and Dr. Christie will jump in whenever she has something that to add. So let me just get to my course. This is going to be a simulation course. It's our first simulation course. It's community, and you're going to love it because the first thing you don't have to do is leave your house and go tour your community 2 or 3 times to be able to complete the assignments. You have Sentinel City. You should be purchasing your course for Sentinel City. If you look in the module, you'll see here textbooks. Under textbooks, you'll find this Sentinel City, and it'll either have Dr. Christie or Dr. Reed. So select your teacher, and when you do, it's going to open up this window with instructions on how to do it. So once you get in, here's the link. Once you've purchased the course, here's the link. You'll link into this, and it'll bring you to the sign-in page. I'm already signed in, and this is Sentinel City. You will be looking at Sentinel City, okay? You can look at dashboard if you want. Population health, we're not doing that one. Those are individuals to people and home, and we want a more global capturing of assessment of a community in this course. So you'll be looking at Sentinel City. So if I click on here and just let it open while I'm talking to you, we are going to look at 2 sections of this city. There are 4 sections in Sentinel City. There are 2 relatively affluent areas, which we're not going to cover. And then there are 2 who are not so affluent areas. Okay, who's that? Wow. Oh, that's Sentinel City. Okay, let me turn that noise down. Okay, that's Sentinel City that you hear in the background as it's loading. So we're going to look at the 2. Now, you're going to see this as well, because as the city's loading, you see it counting, loading at 91, 95, and you have these questions that it asks you just to kill time. And then loading is complete, so I'm going to start it. Now, you choose your avatar. It does not matter which avatar you choose. I'm just going to select the male. Once you select your male, you're going to get this loading, and it's going to bring you to the city, and you're going to be on the bus. Now, have you heard of a windshield survey? Okay. Windshield surveys.
Sentinel City. On board the bus.
Let me
Start
see
by choosing
if
the
I
speed
could
of the
mute
bus
him.
tour from the 3 buttons on your screen. Then.
Okay. Can you still hear me? Okay, good. So this is instruction. You'll listen to this. It's going to tell you all about it, how to drive the bus, how to get off the bus, how to get on the bus, how to look around, and so forth. So once you're finished listening to this and you get an idea of what's going on in the city, now you can always go back to this. So then we go back to the city. Now, we're going to start driving the bus. You're going to drive the bus, and first thing I want you to notice is look at maps. Now, if you notice, here are the areas. Your assignments are going to cover this area, which is Casper Park District and Industrial Heights. So you get there by actually clicking on these sites, and it'll bring your bus there. All right? So let's go back to, and we'll learn more about this as we go on. I'm just giving you a brief. So then you start your bus. I suggest that you start moving slowly so that your bus moves at a slow rate. So you notice your bus is moving. You can get off now. You're in this area here, so here's some demographics which you're going to need to complete your assignment. So we click the bus and get going. Now, say I want to get off the bus. Now, I see something interesting coming up here. I just click get off the bus. Now I'm off the bus. Now I use my arrow keys, and I make my man start walking. If I hold the key, he's eventually going to start running. Okay, well, stop, guy. Okay, so I want him to go this way. I want him to go into this store. I want him to go see what this is. Okay, so what kind of store is it? So you get the idea what I'm talking. So you're going to have to play with this as you get going. Now, you can always just go back and get back on your bus.
Yes, thank you.
You can make this a full screen. You can take it back off of full screen, usually by hitting escape. You can zoom into a particular area. And here's another thing. If you have, with your mouse, if you use your mouse and you just kind of turn your mouse, you can look around you and see what's going in the bus. Notice everything when you get in. Notice the people. He's got his dog on a leash. There are people walking. There are stores. There are billboards. The streets, what they look like. How clean are they? What are the people doing when on the street? What do the buildings look like? What do the sidewalks look like? You want to know all of that. Now, you can always get to that city information right here. Now, this is Acer. Now, we're not doing Acer. We're going to do another one. And if you want a PDF of it, you can get a PDF of it. Now, when you're here, you have to turn your pop-off blockers off. Turn on your pop-up blockers. Turn it off so that when you click yes, you will get a PDF. And so here's all the demographics for that particular area. All right, so we want to close that out and we want to keep driving. Okay, so I want to go back to the map and let's go look at, so we want to get here to City Hall. We're going to start at City Hall. Now, you'll notice there's a little protest going on. The mayor's here. These information signs, click on them. It gives you information. You can click it, yes, and it's going to pop up a window, and you can look at the information in that window. You do have the mayor here. You'll notice that as we continue on driving the bus, we're going to get up here close to the mayor, and I'm going to pause the bus. Then I'm going to get off the bus, and I'm going to go over and see the mayor. So I'm here, and I'm going to go over. I want to talk to the mayor. Now, you see these people are protesting here, so you want to make note of that people are active in their community. He's drunk, okay? Don't worry about it. So you can talk to your mayor. Here's the mayor. Now, you'll notice the mayor has an icon on top of his head. If I click on that icon, it says, do you want to know more about the mayor? Well, yes, I do. So then you can open up the mayor's window, and here it is, and the mayor will talk to you. Okay.
My name is Franklin Hill, and I am the mayor of Sentinel.
Y'all hear it?
I have information on the
Okay. So here are the 5 areas. You're going to be working with physical environment, safety and transportation, health and social service, education, recreation, politics, economics, and communication. You're going to be working with these topics in the next 4 weeks. There'll be 2 in each week. This week, you're going to be writing a paper, which is your windshield survey. You're going to write up all the information that you have about this section of the city that you have chosen, and you're going to write it up in a formal paper. All right, so if we continue driving our bus, put him back on the bus and get him up here, we want to go to our map, and we want to go to Casper District, okay? So if you notice Casper District, now here's the demographics, and you want to pay attention to these. The percentage, because this is very important into how you are assessing a community. Remember, you're doing the nursing process. It's pretty much the same thing. You're gonna gather your information. You're gonna assess this community. You're gonna analyze that information. Then you're gonna come up with nursing diagnosis. What does this community need? What aspect of this community can you address? Then you're gonna build a plan around that to do that, okay? So I'm going to show you that in a minute. All right. So at any point that you want to, you see something in the city that you think is important and you want to take a picture of it, you can take a picture of it. You can make notes on it and you can save it. Let's save it to your computer. If this is important to your assignment that you're doing, you can upload it. Okay? Pretty cool. What do you think? Like it? Or do you want to go out and drive your own city and pick it up yourself? Okay, I know I've done it. No, I like this. Okay, so with that said, we're going to go ahead back. And these information blocks, always open these. They give you good information about affordable housing. Notice that now you're in Casper. You're not in an affluent area. So what do we have? Affordable housing. Okay, that tells you something right there, that you've transitioned now, that there are people who are middle to lower middle class in this neighborhood, and affordable housing is an important thing. If I live, no, if I live way up here in Nightingale Square, oh, big deal, right? I don't have to worry about housing. I make enough money. I pay for my own housing there. Or if I live in Acer Tech, not a big deal. When I start getting into these areas, I may need some help. All right, so with that said, I'm going to leave the program. I'm going to go back to I want to go back to my course. So I'm probably going to have to just go back here and go back to the course. All right. Okay, so let's look at it. Let's look at your assignments for week 1. I'm going to try to do one of these for each week, just a little thing to recap of what's going on in next week, a little bit of comment on the idea of what you did last week, and so forth. So let's look at Module 1. In Module 1, you have all this to do. Now, don't ignore these. You want to take in all of these. Do your readings, because you do have a quiz each week, and so you'll need to know that. But when you come to Sentinel City, so you click on the Sentinel City, and you open up, and there are 2 assignments. The first one is physical environment, and then communication. So you open up physical environment, and it's going to bring up this document. You read this document. Oh, I see I have to change it. This is Casper Park. You will choose your own district, whether you're going to do Casper Park or Industrial Heights. That's up to you. So take your tour of the city early of those 2 sections, decide which one you want to do. Fill in this assignment sheet. Notice it's asking you to describe some physical environment. Okay, what's the general appearance of it? What's the economic difference? Now, economic difference in this one here is talking about the economic difference from the other 3 areas, which you're not really looking at, but browse through them. Go through the city and see. So there's a lot of difference in Casper and, say, Nightingale. So you want to note that, okay? Health impacts and evidence-based. The evidence-based is if you tell me that general appearance and there's a bunch of rats on the street and the health impact is a possible disease or contamination, then look this up. Rodent infestations. What kind of diseases you find? Look it up. Find something, okay? And same thing, what about the green spaces, the sidewalks, the road conditions? So you're going to be assessing this area for the general physical environment of the city that you have chosen. Your objectives are here, and this is how it meets the essentials for the course. And here's the assignment that you need to do. Okay? So I'm going to change this because this should just say your own park. It shouldn't say anything really, because you choose the area, either Casper or industrial. All right, so you do that, and then you upload it to the site where you're going to upload your assignment. So you finish that up, and you upload it to this site. Note it's worth 50 points, and note the rubric is here. Check your rubric out. Make sure you've answered the questions according to the rubrics, okay? If you have questions, ask your coach. All right, so then you're going to go on, and you're going to go to the next one, and the next one is going to be communications. So in communications, the things you're going to be looking at, you're going to be looking at things like the system communication, read all the information, formal types of communication. What types of informal communication do you see? What should be added to strengthen the communication within your section of the city? What do you see in billboards and posters, you know, and residents of this community? What's the relationship of the systems communication determinants of health? This you'll get from your textbook and from the websites where you look at what are determinants of health, okay? So what are some determinants of health? Education, communication, access to health care, Those kind of things are determinants of health, which you'll find in your textbook. And then you just fill these in and you answer these questions. And then once you're finished, again, you're going to upload it the same way you did in the first one by clicking on the communications and uploading this assignment there. It's also worth 50 points, and the rubric is also there. This is the process for each module, with the exception of Module 5. Please note the dates that items are due. You have a discussion that the first part of it is due Wednesday. The second part of it is due Sunday. Except for week 5, where everything is due Saturday by noon, and that's in the syllabus. So do read your syllabus and read the instructions carefully. Okay, are there any questions about this right now that you have? Dr. Christie, anything you'd like to add? All right.
I have a question. I don't know if you can hear me.
Anytime, please. Each of us, Dr. Christie and I, have 6 different sections with over 100 students in a section, okay? It's very important for you to get information and feedback quickly. So put your section number in the script, in the line, okay? In the subject line. Very important, because we can't search through 6 sections for every time we need to answer a student, okay? So if you want feedback in a reasonable time, then please put your section number. We will answer you within 24 hours. There may be an occasion where your answer says, I can't get to it right now. I will get to it first thing in the morning, but you will get a response telling you something. And that's the same from your coach as well as from your faculty. All right. First line of communication.
I have a question, if you can hear me.
You're more than welcome to CC Dr. Christie and I on your emails to your coaches. In fact, I prefer that, but know that I'm going to let that rest until I see that the coach has answered you. I expect the coaches to email me on all communication with students.
Can you hear me?
Let's see, the chat room. How do I know who my instructor is? Cheryl, when you log into the course, you should see who you are assigned to, what section you're in, and you should see your teacher, either Dr. Christie or Dr. Reed. I have 100 to 106. Dr. Christie has 107 to whatever's the line. I think 110 or 12 or 13. Okay. Where's the module quiz information? The module quiz information is always going to be in the assignments. So when you look at your assignments, your readings and presentations, you review this. Your questions come from these chapters that you will be reading. Okay? So you open it up. And here's the description of your readings. Here's reading 1 with an outline and a PowerPoint. Reading 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay? So, and it's got the resources, it's got the PowerPoints. This is where your quiz questions will come to. Are we doing weekly online phone meeting? Probably not, because it's too time consuming for you guys. I try to do a brief overview per week and give to you. When do you think, when have the quizzes been due in the past? Okay, so if you go to the syllabus, you'll see that. But you can also see it when you go into the assignments here. When we go down to assignments, let's see, where's the quiz?
Hey, Dr. Reed, can you hear me okay?
This is Module 1. Maybe there's no quiz in Module 1.
You might have needed
Module 2.
manually.
Let me work on that, because I'm not seeing quizzes. You have discussions. Let me work on that. Maybe I missed something. That's right. You don't really have quizzes here. You have discussions. Let's look at the syllabus. Where do you find all the answers that you ever wanted to know? Go to the syllabus. I don't
Dr.
think
Reed,
there are
can
any.
you hear me
That's
speak?
why I'm saying go to the syllabus, because if the syllabus doesn't have it, they don't. All we have is what we have in this course. No, Dr. Christie, I don't hear you. When you look at your syllabus, let's see, getting started. All right. Your syllabus has, you only have discussions and quiz. Your discussions are worth 5%, your quizzes are worth 10%, and your, not quizzes, but your Sentinel event is worth 10%, and your final paper is worth 35%. So let's go to the syllabus. Here is the syllabus. Sorry, but I'm so used to having quizzes that it's an automatic thing. But we didn't build in quizzes here because Module 1, your discussion and Sentinel event assignment. That's all you have. No quizzes in this course. Okay? Sorry about that. Okay, so your discussion, your assignments are due on Sunday, right? At midnight, except for the last week, week 5, is due Saturday at noon. Your discussions are due, your first one is due on Wednesday, and your response to students is due on Sunday, except again for Module 5. All right.
You are in the meeting now.
Let's see what happens. Somebody has a chat for us here. There's no mention thing. Okay, so that's fine. This is all right. Let me talk of just a minute about quiz. Okay, we're about 24 minutes into this. Well, let me back up one second. Emails. In this environment, this is a professional environment. Now, we're all of different ages and so forth, but in a professional environment, I prefer that you refer to your coaches and to your faculty by their title. So if you write to me, I'm Dr. Reed. If you write to your coach, it's Coach, whoever your coach is for your section. So please remember that. And that's for me. I'm not sure. Dr. Christie may have something different for her group, but that is my preference for our group. Okay, I appreciate that. So always put your section numbers so we know where you're at and what you're doing, and we can find you easily. Your discussions. Discussions are not casual conversations. In this environment, your discussion is an academic and a scholarly discussion on the topic that's assigned. So I expect you to research it. There are some that may say that there is an opinion, and that's fine. But remember, when you make claims, you have to support it unless you personally did the research and can vouch that this is your information, that you discovered new information or something of that nature, okay? So be sure when you're writing that you cite and you reference. Your APA manual is critical. And I know there's a dozen or so different ways to find APA information online. The definitive answer, as far as I'm concerned, is the manual. If there's a discrepancy and you tell me, oh, I went to Purdue OWL, or I went to APA Easy Way, I'm going to tell you this is what the manual says, and this is what we go by. Okay, so just so that you know that. And those discussions are academic, and they're scholarly, and they're not casual conversations. In your responses, a response is, oh yeah, I agree with that. We do that at my hospital too. Tells me nothing. It adds nothing to the conversation. and it doesn't elaborate. I expect you to look at a student's point of view on a particular topic, and if you agree with it, find something that supports it, find something that elaborates on that point. If you disagree with it, find some research that disagrees with it and supports your position by that. So it's an academic endeavor. It's not a casual conversation. Sometimes I'll get responses that take 2 or 3 paragraphs to tell me what you do at your hospital. Well, that says nothing about the topic. Okay? Are we clear on that? Anybody have anything to say? You can raise your hand. I'll be glad to unmute you and you can talk freely.
Unmute me.
Are you on your phone or?
I'm on my phone.
I don't see Dr. Christie here.
Yeah.
She did text me though, so she's listening.
I'm on my phone.
What else can I tell you? Anything? Anybody?
Dr. Reed, this is Roshni.
Andrew, how are you? Andrew Edwards. Coach Edwards, correct?
Hi, this is Andrea Edwards.
I don't hear you.
I'm on my computer.
I do hear you.
I'm on my computer and my phone because I wanted to see what you were doing, so I pulled you up on my computer. So,
well, that's great.
I've got you going twice.
That's great. Let's see, Dr. Christie, you're one of our coaches, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody, this is Coach Andrea, and she has. Andrea, what section do you have? Here we go. Andrea
I'll have to pull it up.
Oh, 102, 103, and 104. So this is Coach Edwards. So here she is. Okay, so how do they buy the program? Okay, do you guys know how to buy the program? Because I'm not so sure myself.
No.
Dr. Christie, can you
hear me?
Oh, yes, please. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I've been dialing back and forth trying to get in and out because I've been trying to say a few things and I wasn't I guess something was going on. But anyway, okay, I had an email from one of my students and she was confused as how to buy the program. So I wanted us to be sure to do that. Now, coaches, they have a separate, we emailed them and they have a separate line to get into. So if they have a problem, they need to contact us. But if it's a student on that one textbook, etc. link that you referred them to earlier, when they go to Dr. Christie or Dr. Reed and click on that, it does talk them through what they will see on the page when they go into Sentinel. They go ahead and put in a username and password before they ever get to the purchase page, okay? And then when they keep moving forward, then it'll say, you have to pay $99 to get into this, you know, John Smith or Jay Smith, and they just follow those directions on that page. But if you are just doing it and you don't keep following them, you don't realize that that's where the link to get on and to pay is.
Okay. So you guys see this?
Does that make sense?
Yes. So you see this? I blew it up. So you see new student, and it tells you here to click on new student. Always start each session from this URL. If you're in Dr. Christie's group, this is your URL. Mine is different if you click on my name, okay? And then it'll walk you through. Create your host student ID, your password, and then you'll get down to this box, and we continue here. You log in, and then after you log in, this is my fee, make a payment, okay? So you come to this page. So this is the page you want, and just keep following this page through, and it'll get you in. So you can get your.
That's the only way they can access it and get the discount that we're supposed to be getting for the class for the students. on the program, plus the fact that it will link them automatically to each of us if they go into the right, if Dr. Reed's students all go to Dr. Reed's class, then he will have your access. If you accidentally get in the wrong class, I don't know what we're going to do, but you really need to make sure you click on the right faculty member when you're going in, because that's how we're going to be able, I don't think you can register in the wrong one, because they have a list of everybody's names, I think. But either way, make sure you go into the right one. And then after you're registered on that assignment, at the end for submission, just type yes and submit it. That way we know you're into the program.
And so to answer Sarah's question.
Can you hear me?
I do. Who is that?
Okay. This is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, I'm on through my phone. So where it says payment is required to access Sentinel City 3.0 at the top of this slide, right where you are, when you actually go to purchase it, it doesn't say Sentinel City 3.0. It just says Sentinel City. That is where my confusion was.
Yeah.
And I contacted the company, and I think it just may be that they upgraded their page, but I just wanted to be sure that I was purchasing the right version.
Yes.
It should be fine. If it gives you that through that link, then it should be the correct one.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Did I email you on that? I emailed somebody about that and said, yeah, it's okay.
I think Sarah's the one who emailed me.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to just make really sure that any of the students that are here or the coaches, if they think of it, it's really important that as students, when they choose a city, and I know you covered this, but I just want to say it again, it's really important whichever area you choose, whether it's industrial parks or whether it's castles, choose one on the very first, thing that you do, very first assignment, and stay with that same one. Don't switch back and forth between industrial parks and Casper, because if you do, you will not have all the information you need to write up your windshield survey.
So please,
whichever one you choose is fine, but just stay with that one throughout the 8 assignments.
So please don't ask us, can I switch? Because it's probably going to be no, or you are going to be so far behind because you're going to have to go back and do the other assignment. You'll be so far behind that it just will not be practical to do it. So don't even ask if you decide you don't like your little neighborhood, because it's just impossible. So tour them well and look at all the information. Look at the demographics. Look at all the information signs and make that choice yourself. Neither one of them are really affluent, perfect, but the idea is for you to be able to assess a community, identify some critical needs in that community, and come up with a way to address it. And in that addressing it, empower the people in the neighborhood to take care of themselves. Yeah, don't leave that part out. It's very important that we are able to empower the community. Okay, so Schmidt, how do we know if we're registered in the right one? I was on the well, how do you know when you signed up? What section were you in? Huh?
Dr. Reed is in sections 100 through 106.
Right.
And Dr. Christie, myself, I start at 107 and go through 113. So if you're in 100 through 106, you're going to sign up for Sentinel City through Dr. Reed's link. If you're in 107 through 113, then you would come to my link, Dr. Christie. And as long as you get in the right link, you're going to be in the right place.
Okay. Here goes. Go ahead. Somebody saying something?
Yes. Hi, Dr. Reed. This is Roshni. I'm in section 100.
Okay.
Just to clarify, so once we tour the cities, we will, for all the assignment, we'll stick with one of the cities?
Yes.
Yes.
It's one city. Now understand it's one city, but there are 4 communities. And we've selected the 2 communities, Industrial Heights and Casper Hill, for this course. So you choose between Casper Hill and Industrial Heights. You
Okay.
can tour the host city to do comparisons, but any comparisons you're going to make is going to be your city that you choose, your neighborhood, and the comparison will be either Nightingale or whatever the other one is, and industrial. Those are the comparisons that you have to make in some time. But it sounds like popping fans just going all over the place. Okay, so stick with your neighborhood. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
You're most welcome. Okay, I think I just did not notice my section before I went into Sentinel City. This is why I'm still not sure. Which, okay, is this Schmidt, Mr. or Mrs.? What section, what name did you choose, Dr. Christie or mine? What section are you in? Email me through the email address, okay? Send me an email so we can get you on the right road. Okay, so emails, we'll answer you within 24 hours, one way or the other. Assignments, 72 hours. You'll get your assignment grade. If something happens, we'll let you know. Email, do not use your private email. Use your PNW email. You probably all know this. I'm just going to say it again. If you send me an email from a private email, chances are you won't get responded to, or you'll get a response that says you need to go to PNW to send this email. I can't respond to it here. Don't send us any assignments by email. Even if you're panicking and the world is coming to an end, don't send me your assignment by email unless we specifically ask for it, because we cannot grade it and put it back in the course for you, and we cannot put your assignment in for you. If necessary, and we decide that it's legit, we can open the area for you to resubmit, but please don't send it in an email. And don't panic. We will work with you and help you out, okay? So let's see, we have some more. Thank you.
Also, Dr. Reed,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to tell them all, we understand that crises happen, that life goes on even when we've decided to come back to school. Let us know if there's a problem, and we can try to work with people, but we have to know that it's going on so that assignments are approved for late turn-in advance. And working overtime does not transfuse into a crisis to me. I mean, I'm sorry, because we all have jobs, and you know you have a job, so work your schedule around that. But if your power goes out for 3 days, or you're in a snowstorm, or a hurricane comes in, yeah, let us know that you're having a problem, a death in the family. I mean, I had someone whose brother was murdered last semester. You know, I mean, God forbid. I mean, and we work with them. We'll work with anybody who is having a life crisis, an illness, or something serious. But just let us know. We don't know if you don't contact us.
And please don't let us know 2 weeks after the assignment's due. You must let us know ahead of time. As soon as you know, we need to know so we can fix it. And if it's a death in the family, I will always ask for an obituary. You can send me the link to the funeral home, and I can look it up myself. If you had a natural disaster, you can send me a link to the news channel, and I can verify it myself. but we have to have this information on file because we have to stay with our policy and we have to be fair to every student that's in the course. So when you ask for a special favor, you know, I have to tell students so often is that, you know, if I give this to you, that means I have to give it to 600 other students. And so that may not be possible. So please let us know as soon as you know that there is an issue, and we'll work with you or tell you whether we can or not. Okay, so Dr. Schmidt, I believe that went in under Dr. Christie. Okay, whoever Schmidt is, what's your first name? Sarah, for the assignments, do we submit the template completed or look for an essay format? No, complete the template. Complete the template and submit the template. Your final assignment in the course will be a formal APA paper where you are going to synthesize all of those to give us a picture of your analysis of this community and your plan for intervention to help this community to advance themselves. Okay? Sandra. Okay, Sandra. Now I got it. I hate calling people by their last name. It's so military. But anyway, okay. Any other questions? We've been on for 43 minutes now. Okay, so I have Mickey 2. After purchasing Sentinel, do I email? Yes, my instructor. If that's an option, yes. I'm not familiar with that, but as soon as
Dr. Reed,
yes, ma'am.
what they need to do when they go through that on the thing, it'll say as a submission on that page. It'll just say, you know, just submit an answer yes to show that you're in the program, and then they'll submit it, and it'll show up on their grade book, so we know they've got it.
There you go. We got it.
Okay. But it's within the program. It's like a homework assignment, only there's no grade for it. But it's like a homework assignment, but they go ahead and answer that.
Right. Okay. So, well, I'm not going to show you the grade book. Okay. Is there anything we can answer? I can tell you guys, it's really important. Pull that syllabus down and read it so you know what to expect. Know what the grading scales are, know what the percentages for the assignments are, know about the late penalties and so forth. Pull that down, pull that syllabus and read it. I know, you know,
It's
I was in school
1945.
for 100 years, but, and it's so easy not to do it, but then you send me a question, I say, did you read the syllabus? Did you read the assignment? Oh yeah, I should have done that. Okay, so look over everything.
When they get ready to turn in their final paper on week 5, I put a couple of safe assigned drafts that they could go ahead and download their paper so that they could see what their percentage was. I went ahead and put 40%, which is a high percentage, but I figured since they were all going into the same neighborhood, that they might have a little bit more the same, but they need to make sure that for the draft submissions on Safe Assign, they do not use their reference page or title page, just the meat of the paper. And as long as it's 40 or below, then they can add their reference page and title page and submit it for final grading into that slot.
So you see this, guys? This is what Dr. Christie's talking about. And this is, you'll click on here for information for your formal paper. This is some general rules on it. This is your safeified. And believe me, this is high. We usually use 10%. But, so this is very...
Well, I think they had 24 on their paper last time. Yeah. But I was concerned with it being this program that they might find too much of the same things.
Exactly.
But we're obviously going to look at matches to make sure that what kind of matches we're getting. But it is a little high, but it was because I didn't know for sure how the program would incorporate with this many students.
And you know, guys, I want to tell you that Safe Assign is a plagiarism detection thing. And plagiarism, you know, we never talk about it much, but plagiarism is very dishonest. And it can happen unintentionally, but when it happens intentionally, that maybe you just didn't recognize and you grab something, stick it there. When you're using other people's thought, you're stealing their intellectual property. And that is not right. Nurses, remember, we're rated the highest trusted profession there is. So keep your own integrity and remember that plagiarism is wrong. It's stealing somebody else's work. So don't do it, and be aware of it when you're writing your assignments. That you need to test these. You know, you can't tell me that the right way to give an injection to start an IV is to hold the bevel up. Well, where'd you get that? Did you do research to see that that was the best way to do it? No, you found that somewhere. You know, if you tell me that smoking leads to cancer, well, you have to support that. Did you do the research on that? No. So you have to cite it. So don't take things for granted like that. And here's your safe assignment and your final draft. No changes after you put it in here. Okay? All right. That's just my little pep talk to you about the APA. And you know, I am going, when I give feedback, I will tell you, refer to the APA manual, page 28, section 2.50. I will give you that detail. So keep your manual, and if you don't have one, get a manual. They're not that expensive. And read chapter 6 and 7 first. That's really big on citation and reference. Okay, so enough of that.
Also, while we're talking APA, I don't know, I assume all of these students have had a nursing class online already, but in case they haven't, on discussion board, it's very hard to do true APA format with like a hanging indent, but we don't grade off if you don't have a hanging indent, but we still expect the full reference for your information where it says APA reference required. I mean, if it's not a hanging indent, we don't care for that, but it should have volume, page, whatever, just like any other reference you would use in APA.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Christie, because people miss that a lot. And you know, when you're doing a discussion, when you're putting in a discussion, there's a board there, there's a menu that you can actually use to correct your work. So cutting and pasting will not paste correctly into the discussion board. So please be aware of that. And once you paste something in there, here is your board. Here's your menu where you can correct all of that stuff. You can correct caps. You can correct the points. You know, what font are you in? You can correct that. This is what this part here is for. So use it so that you don't have part of your paragraph is in a 12 and the rest of the paragraph's in 10 and drives me up a wall. So fix it. Okay. All right, so we've been on for 50 minutes now. Questions from you. Let me see. I have a chat box here. And the syllabus still says 24%. You're talking about for the Safe Assign? Yes, we did. We mentioned that, and if it still says that, we'll go back and we'll fix it because we did up it. Dr. Christie upped it because of the nature of the assignments here. So it is 40%, and so we'll have to go back and fix this ourselves. After purchasing, okay. Thank you, Janelle. All right, guys. Anything else that I can tell you? You know, we'll talk about things as we move along. I usually try to have a couple more of these. I don't want to take up a whole lot of your time. Because I know you're all family members, you're working, and you're trying to go to school and pulling your hair out. So, been there, done that. Believe me, been there, we've done that. So, with that said, if you have no more questions, We wish you the absolute best in this course. Know that our only reason for being here is your success, and our commitment to you is that we will be behind you 100%, but we also ask that you be behind your work 100% as well. We have one more chat, and then I'm going to close the card. Okay. Schmidt says, thank you. You're most welcome, guys. All right, I'll have this posted tomorrow morning, and I'll send Dr. Christie. So we'll post this in the announcements. So with that said, I'm going to